Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. We have a emergency. This is part 12, I think we're up to, of the Great Backyard Cleanup, and it's a forced edition. It's a forced episode because my landlords have been here today. I'm at the back of the shop, and my landlords come along and had a look at this massive big tree that's been growing here, and it's been here I've been here about 20 years. It was admittedly much smaller, but it's become massive. I'll just step back and, geez, the peach tree's in the road there. So it's as high as the house. It's grown in a particularly bad position. It probably just come up from seed. And the deal is, the neighbours have been complaining, which is perfectly understandable, and I would too. A lot of the leaves fill up the spout. I'm not sure what sort of tree it is. Let's have a closer look. So my kids always called it a helicopter tree because these seed pods, when you drop them, they spiral down like a helicopter. Well, like a helicopter that's crashing, I suppose. But it's a really, really nice shady tree, and I'm certainly going to miss it. But it's grown right up along the fence here, and it's become quite massive. And you can see it just goes right over next door's roof. And I was saying that their roof is very flat, and if we get heavy rain, and because all these leaves clog up the spout, it causes flooding issues inside. It hasn't caused any issues with my building because this old shop is quite high, but I can certainly see that it's in the wrong position, and it does have to go, unfortunately, which is a real shame because I do a lot of scrap videos and scrapping on this table out the back. I do a lot of my tool appraisal videos, and I have a lot of stuff stacked up here for my Deca Scrap series, where I've got to accumulate 10 of each thing. So there's a lot of stuff gets stacked up here. And just recently I've had 3 entire ute loads of e-waste come in, more microwaves. There was a lot of appliances and electronics gear as well. So the emergency is, and I've got to move all these buckets because I moved some compost in them recently. I have to clean up all under here very quickly because there's an arborist coming to have a look and to quote on the removal of this tree. I'll step back a bit further so that we can get an idea of how big it is. And other than the peach tree just in front of it, you can see that it is quite large, and it's grown way out of proportion from where a tree should be in that area. So this episode of the Great Backyard Cleanup will be a rush job, relocating all this stuff here so that the guys can come in and chop the tree down. They're going to have to take it down in just little stages because they can't just cut it so it falls, because it's going to crush sheds or fences or next door, or break windows in my place. I don't know. So they're going to have to take it down piece by piece. They can't get a vehicle into my yard, so the only way is down through this side lane, so they'll have to cut it up small to take it through there. So my job is to make it accessible, to get rid of all this clutter around here, and we'll have to play some sad music when the tree goes. Alrighty, it's the next morning. I've tried to spend the last 12 hours psyching myself up for this job. I have moved a little bit of stuff. Those Elgas refiller signs can go into the shop. They're really to be sold. They just got sort of used out here to cover things from the weather. There's a vintage TV. I might put that in the old van just for storage. I don't like scrapping vintage stuff to an extent. I can't keep everything, but that one's a pretty nice old TV in good condition. Hello Coco, good morning to you. I've got microwaves galore, and I don't need that many of them for a Deca test. I think I just counted up 17 of them. So I'll move them to another part of the yard. They don't need to be out of the weather. I'll start scrapping a few, but I'll save 10 representative samples for a Deca scrap video. There's a lot of computer cases in here that I've just stacked up because I fill them with small shred, basically just light gauge pressing steel. They're good containers. I've also got some microwave sort of bodies here that I fill up too. They're handy containers for the small stuff. I'll move all them down the back lane. There is a heap of monitors along the back there. I've got more than 10 of those too, so they'll just have to be relocated for now. There's a bit of stuff on the table here next to my coffee that I was going to do a video on. This stuff came out of the van in, I think that's what we looked at actually in the last Great Backyard Cleanup. And I was going to do the next part as to valuing it and what we got, and you know how I'm going to clean various things up. So that will probably be part, oh, what are we up to? I keep forgetting. That'll be part 13 maybe. Some heavy gauge steel here that I'll take down the back. So really it's just a matter of moving and relocating stuff. I'm not going to film all that, but I'll give you regular updates and I'll show you as this area gets clean. And sometime this week the tree guy is supposed to come and inspect this and work out, I guess he has to quote my landlords as to what it would cost and work out how he's going to tackle it. Oh, printers. Big stack of printers too. Again, put aside for a Deca Scrap video at some stage. There's also some irons. There's a kettle. I'm going to save up 10 of everything, including like office chairs. And the only trouble that creates is that I need to store it until A, I've got enough to qualify for a Deca Scrap, and B, I've got the time to do it. So also here there's quite a lot of crates all full with extruded aluminium. I've got it weighed up into 10 kilo lots, and there's some cast aluminium in the bottom of these barrels too. 7.5 kilos is the weight of the barrel, not the weight of the cast. I think there's 50 kilos of cast aluminium in there. So I'm going to have to relocate these storage tubs as well. This wheelie bin has more cast aluminium in there, so now that lockdowns are finished, I need to do a trip to Melbourne, but I won't have time this week. I'm just going to have to move it for now. Okay, an update this morning. As you can see, I've managed to move a lot of the clutter. Excuse the wind noise. The weather's deteriorating today and it's supposed to be quite wet tonight and tomorrow. Haven't heard from the tree guy yet, but we've got pretty good access now. And I really need to chat to him when he gets here just to see if I can leave that stand against the fence and the barrels there. And also I have some copper hot water cylinders. They should not be in the road. I'm more concerned about him dropping branches on my shed, and I also didn't move the microwaves against the wall because I don't think that really impacts the space the guy's got to work with. I'll obviously move that table. So we're pretty right for access through the yard now. I've got a lot of stuff on that table I'm about to do a video on. Well, no, I'm not. I'm about to wash that up and put it in the shop. And the garden, those messy looking old deck chairs, are cocoa proofing my garden, which is another video at the moment. I'm growing some stuff in the worm castings. So there's plenty going on. I'm happy enough that this yard is accessible for the guy to come in and start dismantling the tree. I'll film a bit when he does that. I'm not sure when it's going to be, probably with the nasty weather coming. It'll probably be next week now. So I have to be really, really disciplined not to put any more stuff in this nice clean area. That's going to be difficult. All right, we'll see you soon. Morning guys. As you can hear, the guys are starting on the tree. Lots of chainsaw noises. They're starting to lop all the little branches off underneath and around the edges. You can appreciate from here how big that tree is, because the roof of my shop is taller than your average house. And it expands right over my garden sheds and over next door. So I'm keeping well out of the road. The guys are just pruning as much as they can. I'm not sure how they're going to do the big heavy branches. I'll be watching that. And then they're dragging it down the side lane there, which I've made pretty good access. It's much more cluttered back where I am now because I had to put stuff somewhere. And they're mulching it all up out the front. Let's go and have a look at their mulcher. There she goes. The entire tree is going to be turned into basically chips, I guess. It's not going to be good for Christine's business today. She was going to open for a little bit today, but although I suppose they might be done in a couple of hours. But yeah, they're just feeding everything through that big mulcher. It's a seriously heavy duty one. I think it can do all the large branches as well. And you can see I did clean up my side lane here so that they could get down without knocking things over, dragging the branches through. So they've just got to keep pegging away at it. As I think Ian Matthews once said, the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. Alright, the boys have only been going for about 40 minutes and it looks like half the tree's gone. But there's still quite a bit hanging over the other side, so they've gone round into the neighbours and they're trimming up the branches just beside the house, between the house and the fence, trying not to drop anything heavy on anything else. We did have a minor mishap. One of the branches swiped some of the bottles off the roof of my shed, but luckily nothing good was broken. And I think one of the guys put his foot through my storage shed over there, so we'll have to repair the roof later on. But they're making pretty good progress. I reckon I'll knock it over in a couple of hours maybe. Alright, here's a view from the other side of my shop building. You can see how narrow it is between the fence and the building. It's about the same on the other side. And they're working on the other side now. One guy's on the roof. There's 3 blokes working here and they're pretty efficient. They're not doing a bad job at all. So she's just about gone. The boys are doing a great job. It's incredibly bright and sunny back here now. It's going to take a while to get used to. Okay, put on your sunnies everyone. It's really bright now. The tree's gone. We have a big expanse of sky. Lots of sawdust. The boys did a great job. They were here for probably about 4, maybe nearly 5 hours. They've moved a pile of copper I had in the road, but they've chopped the rest of the tree out. They've just put some 2-stroke fuel over it to probably kill it. If it sprouts back up, I'll have to put some Roundup or something. My shed suffered a little. One of the guys put his foot through the roof, so I'm clearly going to have to patch that up a bit. Very flimsy sheds these, there's no support, and there was quite a lot of, as you can see, there was quite a lot of mulch on the top of it. So anyway, I'll have to fix that one up. Not so bad. The yard's looking branch swept, I guess you'd call it. They've dragged lots and lots of branches out through here. So yeah, there you go, job's done. Just got to tidy up a bit, and I missed the old tree. So there we go guys, the job's all finished. I'm still rather sad about it, but we didn't have an option. I didn't have a say, it's not my place. And I've been to work a couple of mornings here already since it's gone, and the inside gets so hot just from the morning sun. We are just in the start of summer here, so I thought I might put up some sort of shade sail over there, but it's just not going to be the same as a nice cool tree. But anyway, that's what had to happen. It did force me to deal with a bit of stuff here. I'm going to try and keep it a lot neater. The advantages of what happened was that, okay, I don't have to worry so much about all the mulch building up everywhere. All of my scrap buckets and bins and tubs and everything, I had to have lids on them because they'll fill up with all the seed pods from the tree and the leaves, and then they'd get wet and then it'd get smelly and then I'd get mosquitoes. So at least things will be a lot cleaner, I guess. The other thing is I've got a little bit more space where the tree was. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I might make some sort of, I was thinking I might even put a water tank there and catch some of the water off the roof of this old shop. Purely because it's nice to have some fresh rainwater here, and at the moment it just all flows off into the yard. So not sure what I'll do there. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching guys. The Great Backyard Cleanup Part 12. Not something I had planned, but it's happened. I'll try and keep this part of the yard really neat now, and we'll expand back down the rest of the yard, which has got a lot more cluttered since I had to move a bit of stuff. And the next episode we'll be pricing out a couple of the good treasures and cleaning up some things that we found in the old van. And after that, well, we'll probably get back into just getting things organised in my yard. See you then. Thanks for watching.